Morning, it's Rev Trevor, friends. We're in chapter 22 of Matthew, and today we're going to look at the wedding banquet. Remember, it's the last week of Jesus' life, and so he's using different parables to show the religious leaders that he knows the plans that they have for him. He speaks about the death of his servants, but he also speaks about his own death that is going to come. Yet, in this parable, Jesus is also going to mention to them the judgment that's going to come because of rejecting the Son. Jesus spoke to them again in parable, saying, "The kingdom of heaven is like a king who prepared a wedding banquet for his son. He sent his servants to those who had been invited to the banquet to tell them to come, but they refused to come." So we find that God invites the Jewish nation to attend the wedding banquet of his son, because they were the ones that were invited. But we're going to find that they're not interested to come to this banquet. Now, friends, can you imagine being invited by Buckingham Palace to attend a royal wedding of Harry or any of those people? To have been invited, what an honor it would be to sit at the table with all those dignitaries. And here we find that God invites his people to attend a wedding feast, but they're not interested. Then he sent some more servants and said, "Tell those who have been invited that I prepared my dinner. My oxen and my fattened cattle have been butchered, and everything is ready. Come to the wedding banquet." So the king sends out his servants, more of his servants, to welcome those who have been invited to the wedding banquet. In our culture, when you get married, you send out an invitation a month or 2 or 3 before the time, and you say RSVP by this date, and that's what happens. We send out one invitation. In the Jewish culture, things were different. In the Jewish culture, you'd send out 2 invitations. You would tell people there's going to be a wedding banquet, and then when it was ready, you would tell them to come. And so we find here, it says, the fattened calf has been butchered and everything is ready. The food is ready. The meat has been cut. Everything, all that you can want to eat, a buffet is ready. The wine is ready, would be ready. Everything that you could desire would be on these tables. And so they are called to come and to enjoy the celebration of the wedding banquet. But they paid no attention and went off, one to his field, another to his business. They seized his servants, mistreated them, and killed them. Now we mustn't miss this. After the first invitation, they would have not really indicated or said, "Yes, we come in." And then when everything is ready, they just pay no attention. I feel so sorry when I go to a wedding, and you come to the wedding, and you afterwards, when you go sit down to eat, and when you see people that have RSVP'd, and you see 1 or 2 or 3 tables empty, it saddens always my heart, because I think that couple has spent so much money, because it costs you per head a certain amount of money. Then they've invited people that they want at the wedding. They want them to share that big day with them. They could have invited others, but by people just not being concerned, just going on with their lives many times, they cause that others cannot be there, and those seats are empty. In Psalm 81 verse 11, "But my people would not listen to me. Israel would not submit to me. So I gave them over to their stubborn hearts to follow their own devices." And that's exactly what's happening here. They just went on with their lives. They lived for this world. The farmer went back to his field. The businessman went on making money. This was of greater importance to them than this wedding banquet that they'd been invited to. 2 Timothy 3 says, "People will be lovers of themselves, lovers of money, boastful, proud, abusive, disobedient, ungrateful, unholy, without love, unforgiving, slanderous, without self-conceit, brutal, not lovers of good, treacherous, rash, conceited, lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God, having a form of godliness but denying its power, have nothing to do with such people. This is exactly how the Jews were. They had a form of religion. They had an outward religion. The religious leaders had an outward righteousness, not an inward. And so the Bible teaches us here, they were concerned more with the things of this world than with God. And we see it today, friends. We're living in the last days and people are more concerned with the things of the world than God. And so the others beat the servants and even killed them, as we've seen in the stories before this. Friends, nothing, hear me this morning, nothing is more important in life. There's many things you can miss out on. There's many events you cannot be invited to. You might never be invited to a royal wedding. You might not ever stand by the Oscars. Some people dream of being at the Oscars. But there's one invitation you cannot miss because it's the most important invitation. It's the invitation to the wedding banquet of Jesus Christ. And the wonderful thing is that everyone is invited to this wedding banquet. But not everyone will accept the invitation that the Lord Jesus Christ and God the Father gives them. And so the question this morning I want to ask you is, who are you really living for at this moment? Are you living for Jesus? Are you longing for the day to meet him? Is your gown as if ready? Are you pure? Are you living that if he came today you're ready to meet him? Or are you living for the world? Only you can answer that. It's an important question. This is Rev Trev. God bless you.